Hi everybody, we've got a new limited time series, as you can see, featuring Bentley Continental GT3. And by completing this limited time series, you will win the car plus 30 gold and 150 motorsport dollars, because this car is featured in Motorsports section of the game. 2020 season of GT3 to be specific, and that season has been in the game for some time now, because we've had two cars in the season already: McLaren 720S GT3 and the Porsche 911 GT3R. So this car is in addition to those two cars. So if you haven't completed the season yet, then it's nice to have extra car, because you don't have to, you can rotate three cars as opposed to two, right? But if you already have completed the series like myself, then this car doesn't really serve any particular function. So my expectation is we might actually get an exclusive series in the near future featuring this car. Of course, that means you have to fully upgrade this car, but we'll worry about that another time. For now, let's talk about this limited time series to win this car. So first of all, limited time, right? This series is available through 23rd of November, so basically next Monday. So we have like about a week to complete it. And let's see, PR requirement to win this car, they're saying it's 80.1 on their website. We'll verify that quickly. And considering that this car's base PR is 65.4, which I believe is identical to the McLaren 720S GT3, I'm anticipating it will most likely have identical spec, if not very similar spec in terms of PR requirement or the upgrade tree. So let's see. McLaren, we won it through a series that was special event that did not have a PR requirement. It was just a recommended PR. So I'll put if you guys are interested, I'll put the link to that playthrough in the description box below, as well as the actual 2020 season of GT3 playthrough in the description box as well. So you guys can kind of compare and contrast if you're interested. But Porsche, we won it through the race day event, which had a PR requirement, and that one required PR 80. This series, they're saying, requires PR 80.1. So I'm expecting that we're gonna be using the more or less the same upgrade tree. So there are a couple of different ways to achieve the PR requirement. Well, for Porsche there were. One was basically getting 5 upgrades across the board. There are only 4 categories because this is new Motorsports car, and this one does not. You don't have to deal with tuning and principal and driver XP, none of that crap. Only thing that you have to deal with is just straight up upgrades. That's it. Which I think I prefer that. But that's a rant for another video. So keep things simple, Anyway, so you can achieve the PR requirement 80.1 by getting 5 upgrades across the board, or getting 5 in drivetrain, 4 in body, 6 in brakes, and 5 on suspension. So 5, 4, 6, 5 upgrade tree will also should be able to get your PR requirement met if this series is going to be anything similar to the other GT3 events that we've had this year earlier. So that's My guess, the cost of the car is identical, 1.3 million Motorsport dollars. And let's see, max PR 84.4. So yeah, a lot of similar specs as you would expect. So without further ado, let's check into the series here. Bentley Continental GT3 Championship. Earn a 2018 Bentley Continental GT3 by 100% completing this special limited time series. Unleashed by the iconic British manufacturer onto the GT3 grid, the Bentley Continental GT3 dominated the competition at Bathurst in 2020. I guess I'm anticipating that we'll have some maybe cup event at Bathurst, Mount Panorama. Maybe. I doubt it in this limited time series. Let's see, in 2020 season, I think we have one of the longer, no, that's a Spa. There's a last tier of 2020 season has like a really lengthy cup race at Spa, if I remember correctly. But, well, if you guys are interested, you can check out the playlist. I'll have it in the description box below, as I said. Anyway, yes, there's some 30 gold reward to be won here. I know it's not much, but you know what? It won't cost you a single gold coin in order to complete this limited time series all the way, because all the upgrades that you're gonna need is only gonna cost you Motorsport dollars. Now, if you want to fully upgrade this car, it will cost you some gold, most likely, because last tier of these upgrades, if it's anything like the other two GT3 cars in 2020 season, then yes, the last tier of the upgrades will be all gold. But we probably don't need to go that far in order to reach the PR requirement. So there's your specs, 15,000 Motorsport dollars plus 3 gold for first 25% completion, which would be the first 4 tiers completed with all gold trophies. And then 50% completion pays you additional 30,000 Motorsport dollars plus 6 gold. And that you will achieve by winning 2 gold trophies in tier 8, plus all the other tiers come before that with the gold trophies, of course. And then 75% completion pays you yet another addition of 45,000 Motorsport dollars plus 9 gold. And that you will reach by winning 1 gold trophy in tier 12, plus all the 11 prior tiers gold trophies, of course. And then, well, 100% completion is pretty straightforward. 60,000 Motorsport dollars addition and 12 more gold, plus the car, which is the big grand prize here. So let's use the gold here and complete the series right away, so we can check out or confirm the final PR requirement. And yeah, these, you know how there's a 5 million Motorsport dollar cap on your lifetime earning? Except the bonus that you earn for like completion, right? Not the race earnings, but the completion of like certain percentage of series. Those don't count against you, or they can go beyond the 5 million cap, just so you know. So as you can see here, I've gone over the cap, and of course once you're over, you cannot earn any more. But any bonus that you earn like this one will keep getting added. Something to keep in mind. And the 30 gold, well, there's no daily cap on gold, is there now? All right, so let's pick up the car and pretend we won it. I'll have a separate video series, or I'll actually make separate videos for playing through the limited time series, most likely. All right, and yes, looks like there's 3-hour instant service and instant R&D offer available once you get the limited time series going. So final tier, this is 15 tier limited time series, the standard. So let's check into the final cup, which is going to be at Porsche Test Track. Base PR 65.4 and PR requirement is, as stated earlier, 80.1. All right, so here we go. Just 4 categories to worry about, which is nice. Instead of the road collections 7 or legacy upgrade scheme of 7 categories, right? Although there's some charm to that as well, a little bit more compartmentalized, right? Anyway, 6 upgrades available on drivetrain, 7 upgrades available on body, 7 upgrades available on brakes, and 6 upgrades available on suspension. All right. So far, so good. It's all following the very identical scheme as the other GT3 cars in terms of PR and the upgrade available, right? All right, let's check in. Drivetrain. Tier 1, or as they call it, Stage 1 here. 57,304 motorsport dollars. Let me compare that to the Porsche. And that is a bit pricier compared to the other cars, because Porsche Stage 1 drivetrain costed me, if I'm looking at my data here, it was in 42,000 and change. So yeah, a little bit pricier this time around. I suppose there must have been some sort of an inflation. Okay, we'll get it. And then we'll go through each category tier by tier here. So up next, body, we got 52,106 motorsport dollars. That compared to 38,211 motorsport dollars. That was for the other GT3 cars, Porsche and McLaren. So yeah, so this one's gonna be a little bit pricier. And then the brakes, 41,344. All right, and compare that to 30,000 and change from the other 2 models. So yeah, Bentley apparently premium upgrades here. At least we have to pay premium. All right, and suspension, 52,000 and change. Compare that with 38,000 and change that we had to pay on the other car. So this one, yeah, just overall more expensive. So tier 1 upgrades total cost is 203,317 motorsport dollars. And that brings our PR up to 68.4. That is exactly 3-point PR boost. All right. Let's go on to the tier 2 or stage 2 upgrades. All right, so 92,000 and change here for drivetrain. And compare that to 67,000 and change. Oh, yeah, you get the trend here. So it's just gonna be overall a bit pricier compared to the other GT3s. All right, so body is gonna be 83,000 and change here. Brakes, 66,445. All right, and suspension, 84,476. So something to note here is in terms of cost per category, brakes the cheapest one, and then body is a little bit pricier. Actually, the other 3 categories, like drivetrain, body, and suspension, costs are relatively similar. Brakes just the cheapest one. They know. we don't really rely heavily on that. But anyway, so with the second stage upgrades completed across the board, PR is up to 71.3. So that is 2.9 PR point boost. Let's get on with the next tier. Now we're getting up to the 6-digit number, 122,000 and change for drivetrain, stage 3 upgrade. Body 111,000 and change. So yeah. And then brakes, we're still in 5-digit here, 88,000 and change. And then suspension 112,000 and change. That brings the PR to 74.3. So that's another 3-point PR point boost. So let's go on to the stage 4 upgrades now. 163,725 for stage 4 drivetrain upgrade. Body 148,000 and change. Might be the last one I'm gonna need in that category. And then let's check out the brakes. Stage 418,000 and change. So now every category we're up on 6-digit cost here, getting pricey. And suspension, stage 4 is going to cost 150,000 and change. So yeah, I know these are just motorsport dollars, so not the most difficult thing to earn, but still they do have a cap on 250,000, and this series actually is limited time, so we'll see depending on your current how much you have banked up so far in terms of motorsport dollars. You may not have enough. We'll see. All right, so we are up to 77.2. That's PR. So we got another 3 points to go. Really, 2.9, right? To be exact. So that's what we need. So let's check into drivetrain. It'll get us 0.9 PR point boost, so that's pretty decent amount. Body, for the cost, return on PR boost isn't as good because that's only 0.7 PR points. Brakes, yes, it's not as great of a PR boost, but the cost is significantly less than body. So that's where brakes upgrade comes in handier. I know the overall cost difference is going to be fairly minimal, but you know, if I'm going to show you the cheapest route, I'll show you the cheapest route there. And then suspension, we do get 0.8 PR point boost, so that's one of the higher PR boost, right? Along with a drivetrain. So let's go with those two first. And yes, final category of these upgrades, as I said, gonna be gold upgrade. And the final stage 6 upgrade for drivetrain is 60 gold here. Let's compare that to Porsche, which actually was 85 gold. So the gold cost is actually less than the other GT3 cars, looks like. Interesting. And then we'll get the suspension, which will bring our PR up to 78.9. And this one, suspension, the stage 6 upgrade, is 55 gold. And compare that with the other two. Also, the other two costed 75 gold. So if you're fully upgrading this car, or GT3 cars, this one is going to be actually more cost effective. Because if you had to choose between gold and motorsport dollars, like which one you would spend more of, I think spending more of motorsport dollars is easier to recoup than the gold. So that's I guess that's where this car comes in kind of handy. So if you haven't completed the 2020 season and you haven't put, like as much upgrade to 100% complete the 2020 season, then in order to do that, you're going to have to spend some gold to reach the final PR requirement for 2020 season completion. And in terms of gold cost, this car is going to be the better option. Obviously, you have to spend more in motorsport dollars, so you have to keep that in mind. But I feel like motorsport dollars are easier to recoup, as I was saying. All right, so that brings our PR up to 78.9. So we need another, 1.2? I feel like we should be able to get that from brakes, right? So 177 and change for stage 5 upgrade up brakes. And look at that. 221,484 motorsport dollars for stage 6 brakes upgrade. Now let's compare that with the stage 5 upgrade of body, which is, as I was saying, about 2,000 motorsport dollar difference. So, and you actually do get 80.2 PR point for getting the body upgrade. But that's not really necessary. I mean, if you want to complete the 2020 season with this car, you're going to have to max out all the motorsport dollar upgrades anyway. But just to complete this limited time series, I would say go with the brakes and meet the PR requirement exactly at 80.1. There you go. So if you punch in all that number, let's see. The total upgrade cost is 2,416,189 motorsport dollars. And going by the fact that you can earn 250,000 per day, right? If you're starting from 0 motorsport dollars, you're gonna need 10 days of farming to be able to afford all the upgrades here, which means if you are below certain amount of motorsport dollars in your bank, you're not going to be able to earn enough motorsport dollars to be able to afford the car, basically, which is they just don't give you enough time. It's only 5-day or 6-day event. I guess if you consider till next Monday. So today is 17th here. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So that's 6 days. So I don't know if that's going to really be enough time to win the complete, earn enough, because you're going to need, as I said, 10 days. And obviously, you're going to be running out of time to farm. You're going to have 4 less days of farming than what's required before the limited time series expires. So unfortunately, that's the way this series is going to be. But then again, the car is not essential. And while we're at it here, the final gold upgrade for brakes is 50 gold. Let's compare that to the other Porsche and McLaren. Brakes last time, they costed 70 gold. So once again, 20 gold cheaper. And when you combine all of that together, it will make a significant difference in the fully upgrading the car, especially. So yeah. All right. So that will about do it for this video. And as I said, I will be making my way through this limited time series. So if you're interested, feel free to tag along, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, take care.